Hello and welcome to my free training for cake makers, showing you how to create attention-grabbing visuals for your social media and get more orders for your cake business. Before we get into the training, I'd like to share my background with you and how I know so much about managing social media, especially when it comes to growing a successful cake business. I'm Zoe Critchley, owner of Cake Business Queen and also my own successful wedding cake business, The Cake Queen in Lincolnshire. I've been making cakes for over 11 years now, 5 of these as a business. But cakes were not always in my life. I graduated university with a degree in marketing and public relations and held a career as a marketing manager for over 18 years, which was a role that I never envisioned leaving. But like many, I fell into cake making. I simply wanted to be the one to make my daughter's first birthday cake, and this was the beginning of, quite frankly, an expensive hobby. I used to make cakes for everyone's birthday at the office, and I loved doing it. I got to the point where strangers were requesting cakes from me, and at that point I decided to register as a cake business and just see where it went. My background in marketing obviously helped me set up my social media pages, but running these channels for my own business, starting from scratch, felt very different, especially when I had had a long day at work, my family to care for, and then cake orders to fulfill too. It was overwhelming and would have been so easy to give up. But I had a dream and 2 young daughters. I wanted more family time. I wanted to be able to have time with them in the school holidays, and that was a huge factor for me. But I was determined to make my cake business work for me. I had my business name, I set up my Facebook pages and my Instagram page, and then, that's right, nothing. So I went back to everything I'd learned through my marketing knowledge and my experience. I went back to basics. I updated my profile picture, my page name, and my bio details to make sure that these were set up correctly. I started to show up consistently to build trust with my ideal clients, and I became clear on my objectives and started creating better content and visuals that my audience would like and engage with. I had a strategy. Everything then started to fall into place, and within that year, I tripled my inquiries and my orders. By learning how to run my social media properly, I now get consistent stream of inquiries. I am fully booked for a year in advance, and I only spend about an hour each week planning and creating content for my cake page. And most importantly, I love interacting with others and being social. I enjoy creating my content. I'm no longer overwhelmed by social media, and I have time to enjoy making my cake orders and spend time with my family. So now I want to have a look with you at the 3 mistakes to avoid when posting on social media. And these mistakes I'll talk about here are common, and I made them all. You may be able to relate to these too, and that's okay. These tips may help you to recognize this and to help you make some simple changes to help you grow. So mistake number 1, not posting consistently. Now, you may hear the word consistently a lot when it comes to social media advice, and that's because it's important to help you grow your followers, build relationships and trust with potential customers, and therefore more orders. Customers want to know that you are there, and so posting regularly and consistently shows them that you're reliable and helps them to see you over other cake makers. The algorithm will also favour accounts that post more regularly rather than those that just dip in and out more sporadically. But what does being consistent actually mean? Consistency will be different for everyone, but when growing your account, I do recommend posting daily. If this does sound like too much for you and you can't realistically stick to that, you may opt for 4 times a week, for example. What's important is that you decide upon a frequency that works for you and then you commit to it and stick to it. Consistency also relates to the look of your posts. So if you use the same colours, the same fonts and styles for your posts, a customer will start to recognise and relate to you more. They will also remember you so that when the time comes for them to need a cake, they will know that you are the reliable cake maker for them. So here's an example of my feeds. These are both my my cake business feeds. The one on the left is before. As you can see, it's very mismatched, lots of different styles. There's a couple of cake pictures with the same background, but it's very busy. Really random, looks really random. The one on the right, however, is more curated. I use a similar template format. My testimonials templates are the same. My customer question posts are the same and things like that. So obviously all my cake kind of styling is also similar, so that all helps to bring consistency. And if you're not consistent with your posts, you're not going to be seen enough by your ideal client. You won't get the inquiries and you won't earn enough money to keep your cake business going. But once you post regularly and consistently, you'll be seen by more people more often, and you will increase your inquiries and earn more money. So mistake number 2, only sharing pictures of your cakes. So wait, what? I hear you say sharing cake pictures is bad? Okay, of course you need to be sharing pictures of your cakes so that customers can see your work, but that shouldn't be all you share. If you only share cake pictures, people don't get to know you or your business. You don't stand out from any other business and you won't be memorable. People don't have the reassurance or trust to encourage them to give you their money. And I totally get it. I used to do this too. What am I supposed to share? But I don't want to share my face on screen. Why would people want to see that? I'm scared of what people will think. So what else should you share? Well, let's start with customer testimonials. Sharing feedback from your customers gives others reassurance and proof to new customers that they will be safe to order from you. You can answer customer questions. Some customers will happily message to ask you, whilst others will sit on the sidelines and they just won't ask you. And if they can't find the answer on your page, they just won't order. Behind the scenes is a really great way to give insight into your cake business. So you could share, highlight a process. So for example, designing or model or flower making, for example. Customer photos. So this gives social proof, again, as well as your testimonials, but even more so because people engage with faces on social media. They're really powerful. People relate to and engage with seeing people's faces. And of course, the other face that you can share is yours, and introduce yourself so that customers can get to know who they are talking to and ordering with. By showing more than just cakes, you will position yourself as the expert. You'll build trust with your customers, and you'll give them confidence to order with you, meaning you are able to charge your worth and, yes, earn more money. And mistake number 3, sharing low quality or unengaging visuals. There is so much noise on social media, and your visuals need to be eye-catching to stop the scroll and get your audience to notice you and want to read more. How do you do this when creating any kind of content for social media already feels overwhelming, and you're not a graphic designer, right? So you feel confused about what you should share. You're overwhelmed with technical requirements to create better imagery. And you feel like it's going to take you too much time to learn and then too much time to create content all of the time. So you just don't. But by sharing poor quality imagery, people can't easily see the quality of your work. They don't feel compelled to like, follow, and engage with you. And potential customers don't see you as the expert that they can trust for their special occasion. But when you create and share better visuals, more customers see and engage with you. They start to recognize and relate to your content, building trust. You have increased visibility and trust, meaning more opportunity for inquiries, and more inquiries means more orders, more money. So what can you do to overcome all of this? Let me introduce Canva. Canva is a fantastic online tool that makes designing social media posts a piece of cake. Even if you're not a design expert, and even if you're happy with how to design, quite frankly, Canva makes everything so much quicker that I use it rather than Photoshop or any other design kit that I've had in my armory since my marketing and design experience days. There's even an app, so you can easily use it on your mobile or tablet rather than just your desktop or laptop. And there is so much that you can use Canva for. On first look, it can seem quite overwhelming. So now I'm going to show you some simple ways that you can use Canva to create and edit visuals for your social media so that you can see how quick and easy it can be. And I'll be showing you via the desktop version, but the functions are the same on mobile too. So there's nothing you can't do on mobile that I'm going to show you today. So here we are now, we are in Canva. This is, like I say, this is the desktop version, just because I can share my screen here to show you on a bigger scale. On mobile though, like I say, all the functions are exactly the same. Many may be in a slightly different place, but I'll make comment on that. But yes, you can do everything that I'm going to show you today on whether you're on mobile, iPad, tablet, whatever you're on, it's all doable. And as I said, there is so much that you can do in Canva, including social media posts, which we're going to focus on today. But you can create logos, order forms, useful information sheets. You can even create websites and design clothing in Canva. It's a really amazing tool to use, but that's also why it can be quite overwhelming if it's new to you. So I'm going to show you around the menu and what we can do in here now. So what I'm going to do today is show you some of the simple ways you can use Canva for your social media posts to make these visually appealing and help customers engage with and remember you. Now, as I said, there's loads of things that you can do within Canva, but we're going to start with social media. So if I click this button here, it'll take me into Canva's social media options. If I scroll down, you'll see there's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and then a bulk of templates too. And this is why it can get quite overwhelming, because there is just so much in here. It's like, where do I start? So I'm going to make it really simple for you today. And we're going to start by creating a new Instagram post. Now, Instagram, you can create square, but I always go for the portrait size as it fills more of the user's screen when they're scrolling, so they see more of your post. So let's say we want to create an Instagram portrait post. You can type in this section here. I'll type in Instagram and it will give me some suggestions here, and it will give me Instagram portrait. If I just click that, what it will do is it will then show me a series of templates. But again, this can be quite overwhelming because there's just so many. You could spend so long scrolling through here, looking for ideas. By all means, do it. If you know exactly what you want to post, that's fine. But the way I like to do it is I'll come up here and click create a design, and then I will put Instagram post in here, and then I will select Instagram post portrait. And it will create me this blank screen that is already sized for Instagram in that portrait size. So you know whatever you put on here, it's going to be the right size for Instagram. So what I'm going to do is, so this menu over on this side, if I just close this down for 1 second, you'll have this bar down the side, or on mobile it's along the bottom. Design, again, this is why I prefer to do it this way, because you'll still have all of those templates here. So you can look for here, or you can search, let's say you wanted to create a testimonial, you can just type in testimonial, and it will suggest some design templates here for you to edit. Elements, and I'm going to come on to this in more detail later, but this is where you can add lots of different shapes or pictures or photos that already exist within Canva. And you have text, where you can add your own text onto it. Brand Hub, now this is a pro feature, so if you have the paid version of Canva, it just is where you can already upload your logos, your fonts, your colours, so that they're easily accessible at all times. Don't worry if you don't have the pro version, because I'm going to come on to that later and how you can get around that. Uploads will be where you upload all of your own fake photos, videos and such like, if you want to use. So you can see these are things that I've already uploaded into my Canva account. Draw is where you can do free draw, and then projects and apps and more photos. Projects is just stuff that you've already created within Canva, so you can access it from there. But we're going to focus on these top elements here. And what I want to do, first of all, I want to show you how you can improve a cake photo that you've already taken, all from within Canva. So I've already said if you put an image into here, it's already sized in the right aspect ratio for Canva. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pick this image here. I've already uploaded it, but let's say I hadn't, all I would do is click upload files, and it will take me to my desktop, whatever device you're using, take you to your mobile camera roll, and you can just upload your photo from there. You'll just click upload and it will drop it in for you. And then it will add it to this bank of photos here. And then all you do to add it to your page is just click it, and it's added it on to the page straight away for you. And as you can see, it's not filled the page. So if you want to fill a page, all you need to do is drag these buttons at the corners to bring it out to the side. And if it's still not quite right on the sides, use the side ones too. And there you go, it's popped the image into the size for you. Now, this particular image isn't sitting quite right for me because you can see it's trimmed off the top and I've got a bit of excess at the bottom. So all I'm going to do is double click, and you can see now I've got a sort of faded, almost transparent bit at the top and bottom. That's how big my image actually is, which means I can just drag it down and sit it in place and then click off it. So that's my image sized for this portrait size. Now, this image is a little bit dark for my liking, so I want to edit the image. So again, I'm just going to click on the image. So it's now got that purple frame around it. And then I'm going to click edit image on this top bar here. And then I'm going to click adjust. And then I'll get all of these options here. And now on mobile, again, it's along the bottom, but you'll get these same options. So if I want to make it a little bit brighter, I simply drag the slider to make it as bright or as dark as you want it to be. So I only want it a fraction lighter. And then you've got all of these different options too. I quite like a vignette, which is, if I drag this, you'll see it'll add a shadow effect around the edges. I quite like that. So I'm going to leave that back there. You've also got things like vibrant, and you can play around with all of these highlights, shadows. You can give it a fade. So if you wanted it a bit faded, you can do all sorts of things there. So that's how you'll make your image a bit brighter. Also, the background on this image is a bit rubbish, let's face it. This was actually taken at a wedding fair. So I've got another cake here, there's a chair, there's the curtains, somebody's legs. So yeah, the background on this is rubbish, let's face it. Now, if you've got the pro version, you can remove that image, that background altogether. So if I click edit image, and then if I go down to here and go to background remover, now you can see it's a pro feature because it's got this crown on it, and you just click background remover and it will get to work and remove the background all by itself. Now, it's not perfect. There's still like a couple of bits here and here, but then I could go in further along and I can erase them using that tool. But if you don't have the pro version, another thing you can do is you can go to down here, you go to autofocus. And if I just click that, it will blur the background for me. So you can see it's kept the cake as the focus in the foreground, and it's blurred all of this. And you can change the intensity of the blur. We can make it a stronger blur. We can make it, you know, as much or as little as you want. You can also change the blur position. So let's say it hadn't, let's say I didn't want the cake to actually be the focus. I wanted the background to be, wanted the cake to be blurred and the background to be clear. Not that you would, but that's an option. So you just move this blur position and you can adjust that again to wherever you would want it to sit. If I go back the other way, it'll make it more, you see it's put the focus more here. And on mobile, if you do that, it will show you like a purple shadow almost over your, whatever it's trying to focus on, it will put a little purple shadow over it. And then you can just click apply when you're happy. So that's my cake image. The one final thing I want to do to this is I want to add my Cake Business logo. Now, if I've got Brand Hub, which I do, I would just add it from here. But if you don't, you're on the free version, you can upload your logo into the uploads just as you did with your cake image, and you'll add it in exactly the same way as we did with the picture before. You'll just tap on it. So if I go back to Brand Hub, because that's where my logo is, just tap on the image and it'll drop it onto the screen. And then just as you did with your cake image, you can drag this to size and then you can just drag it around. So you can, I would probably put it there or over here, but you can move it wherever you want to do until you're happy. So that's your cake image. And then if you wanted to download and save this, you can come up to here and you press share. And then if you've hooked up your Instagram, which you can connect, just share it straight to Instagram. Or as I prefer to do, just press download, and then you can download it to your phone here, or your camera roll, or wherever it is that you're using, you can save it to. You could also give it a title. So at the moment, you can see up here, it says untitled design. So you just click in that box and you can type a title for it. So if I just called this B&W as in black and white, cake, wedding fair, anything you want to call it so that you know what it is. And you just press enter or tap onto screen. So that's renamed. So that's how you can improve the look of an existing image using Canva. The next thing I want to show you is how to edit those existing templates, or how to use those templates that we've just seen there before. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add another page. So we're still going to work in the Instagram portrait style. I'm going to go up to this design function up here, and you can see all of these templates in here that you can edit. Now, I actually want to show you one of the templates that I've already created, and I want to edit. So let's go and get that now. So here we have a template that I've already created that I'm going to show you how to edit the colors of, how to edit text, how to change pictures, and all of the great things that you can do with Canva to quickly create visuals and share them on your social media too. So let's start with this first one here. It's got a pale pink background, some text on it. It's just like a general quote that you could share with something nice for your customers. So let's say you're not really kind of pink person and your branding or the colours that you like to use are more greens or just something else, and you want to change this. So all we're going to do is we're going to click on the element. So all the elements, if you click them, they'll present a box around them. We want to change this pink element here. So we're going to come up to this top left corner, or if you're on mobile, it's at the bottom, and you're going to change the background colour. And if we click on that, it'll open up this window with all sorts of different colours. You could select from the pre-selected. So for example, if I clicked on that gradient, it would change this to blue to yellow kind of effect, or if I just pick that one, it's a green. And again, it'll pick out lots of different colours that it'll suggest for you. You don't have to use those. So this green's not quite bright, it's not what I want. So I'm going to come up here to this add new colour button. It's a bit like a rainbow. And if I click on that, it will give me this here. So you can use this button here within this frame to slide it around to pick a colour that you want. Again, here you can also slide it along to be into the tones that you like. Or if you know what's called a hex code for the colours, let's say you've had some branding work done and you've used very specific colours and you know this code, or starts with a hashtag, you can type this in here too. But for the purpose of this one, I'm just going to drag it to a nice green colour that I like. I'm going to settle on that one. And that's the colour change for this template for the background. And I could do the same for this element, which is this heart here. As you can see, again, it's got 3 colours. And I can just click on these and change them, again, change them to what I want them to be. So for example, that one, and then I could change that to the darker one, for example, and same again with that pink one. The outer one, that's still, let's change it to that. And then again, I can just drag that to what I want it to be as well. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to change the cake photos or any photo within a template that you've chosen. And it's exactly the same as we've just done with the previous task when we added our own picture to a blank template. So I'm going to use this one as the example. It's already got a picture of a cake in the background. This is a stock image from Canva, which if you went into elements and let's say I type in cake to search, you'll see if I go into photos, there's a wealth of cake images that already exist in Canva, which are free to use unless they have the crown icon on this. So this one here, for example, has a crown on it, which indicates that it's a pro or paid image, but all of these other ones that don't have it, they are free to use. You are, of course, welcome to use them, but remember, your social media is the window to your business and you want to be representing your work. So I strongly advise you use your own cake images where possible. So let's say we want to change this image to one of our own. You'll go into uploads, upload your image just as you did before. and then we can drop a cake image of your own onto this. So again, you can add an image in one of two ways. So I'm either going to click on this and drag it in, and it will just simply drop it in place, or I can just click the image and it will land it wherever it feels like, basically. And then again, you just resize it, drag it out to the corners and pop it in place. Now, obviously that cake image isn't sat where we want it to sit. There was a nice white box showing the reminder text before, so we need to reorder our layers. And to do that, we're going to click on the cake image, make sure it's got the purple line around it like we did before, and then come up here and click position. And then if you've got the arrange tiles come up, you can click to the back and it will automatically send it to the back. Or if you go into layers, it will show you them here and you can simply drag it up or down, whichever direction you need to move it into. And again, if you wanted to see more of the image, if you double click on it, you can drag it out, make the cake itself a bit bigger, fill the frame, and then click off it and you'll see it's positioned it. Another thing you want to do, so on this template, for example, it says at your cake business name here, that's for you to replace with your cake name. On some templates, it'll say really great site or something like that. Just look out for those because you'll need to edit the text. And to do that, just double click, delete that back and type in your cake business name. If it's got that @ symbol, it means your Instagram handle, or if you just want to write your actual name, you can delete that @ symbol altogether and just type as you would normally on your keyboard at the cake business queen. Obviously you'll write your own name. If you wanted to change the font, again, just click onto this button up here. It currently says Lato. If you click that, it'll give you a long list of available fonts within Canva. Again, look out for the crown. That'll indicate that it's a paid font, for example, these ones here. But there's so many free fonts, as you can see, that you can choose from. If you want to change the colour of your text, just come up here to this @ symbol with the line underneath it. Pick your colours just as you did before. And you can change the size. This is currently 31. You can use the up or down button. If you click it, it'll also give you a drop down. You can change that. Everything is really flexible in Canva for you to change. And if there was an element on a template that you didn't like, say for example, there's like a bit of a glittery effect on this one. If you didn't like that, you just come up here and you just click on it. Got this purple box again highlighted around it to say that you're on it, and you can just click delete and it will remove it. If you decided if you've made a mistake, you've deleted something, actually you want it, just come up here and click undo and it's back for you. And then when you're happy, you will just share just as we did before by clicking the share button and download or share to your social straight away. You can do that all here. So that's using a template that's already existing within Canva or that you already have. Now I just want to show you how you can create from scratch. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to go back to the home screen. And we're going to do the exact same thing again. I'm going to go to create a design. I'm going to go to Instagram post portrait because that's what I want to show you, but you can pick any size or anything that you want to create. Could be your cover photo for Facebook, for example. All of these sizings are presets within Canva that you can use. So we've got our plain white box. Let's say we want to create our own testimonial. So I would start with the text. So you're going to put your text in first. So let's add a heading. You can use any of these here, or you can use these font styles underneath. Have a play around. You can do whatever you want with this. Just have a play with it and see what kind of styles you get together. So you can see they've already paired some fonts and some effects if that's what you wanted to use. I've just clicked add a heading because we can edit it all afterwards. And then, so it's added it onto my page, and then I just want to change the text. I'm going to write, just going to put thank you for the wonderful cake, but you'll obviously use your actual customer testimonials. And then you can move this around wherever you want to. It'll give you guides. So if you wanted it to be smack bang in the middle, you can see the vertical and the horizontal lines will tell me that that's in the middle. You can change the size of your font. So if it's too big, you can reduce it down. One thing to remember is if you are using a desktop, it will look so much bigger than it will when it's on your phone. So bear in mind, you'll probably need it to be bigger than you think. If you don't want it to be on one line, you can drag this in from the sides. And again, if you want it to be in the middle, just use those guides and drag it in. So that's a bit boring. We might want to add another element in. We might want to add a bit of a speech bubble, for example. So if I go into elements and I'm going to type in talk bubble. I'm going to search for that and it will give you all of these graphics in here. If I click see all, I'm just going to take that one. It's nice, it's colourful, and you can just drag that out to be whatever size you want it to be. That's about right. You can change the colours just as we did before. So I'm just going to make it a greeny kind of colour. And this is just to show you, obviously this isn't one I would actually set up. In fact, I don't like the speech bubble. Let's delete that. Let's take that away completely. I want to add my cake image again. So I'm going to go into uploads. I'm going to add my cake image. I quite like it not filling the whole screen. I might want a bit of a white border around it for something a bit different. I'm going to use those frames to make it in the middle. But obviously now you can't really read my text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to effects, and then I could add a background to it. Now I don't want it to be bright yellow, but if I scroll down here, I can change the colour. Let's say I want it just to be white. So that's that. Let's say I'm still not quite happy with it. If I go back to effects again, you can, again, scroll down, you can change the roundness of it. So you can make the background rounded a bit more, a bit less. You can make it more transparent so that you can see some of the cake behind it. You can make it bigger or smaller. You can also curve your text if you wanted to, so it would be a bit of an arc. We'll just have it normal. But what if I don't like the roundness of it? Let's say I don't like that. I want to add my own block behind it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that. I'm just going to click none. And as you can see, it decided to resize my font. So I'm just going to bring that back in and drag it back into the middle again. And then I'm going to go to elements because I want to put my own box behind it. So this time I don't want the talk bubble. I'll get rid of that. I want a shape. So I'm going to click see all. And I kind of want this rounded kind of rectangle. So I'm going to drop one in there. And then I'm just going to drag the sides out so that it's either side of my text. And then I'm going to change the color by coming up here to color. And I still want it to be white. And then again, I want to make it a little bit more transparent. So I'm going to come up to this top bar again across here. On mobile, it's still at the bottom. Get this checkerboard effect that says transparency. Click on that and then move the slider down a little bit. So our template is starting, or our social media post is starting to take form. I want to make it a little bit more interesting, want to add some other elements to it. So again, you come across here to element, and like I said, there is so much that you could add from here. I just want to add a bit of sparkle to it, for example. So I'm just going to type in sparkle. And it'll give me all of these options. So I'm going to go into graphics. And then these are all these here. Now what you'll want to do is, because this isn't a reel, you want to avoid the animated ones because this will download as a video. So when you go to upload it to Instagram, it will think you're trying to upload a reel. And obviously an Instagram portrait size is not the right size for a reel. So just bear that in mind. You don't want any animated graphics on it unless you're creating a reel. So like I said, there's loads of options here. I'm going to go with these sparkly bits here. Click on it, it'll automatically add it onto your frame, and then you can move it wherever you want, resize it using the side buttons again, just drag it in or out, and you can change your color again, just as we did before. This section here is telling me what colors are in my photo that it's picked out because it's really clever. I'm going to pick that one. Obviously, you would want to pick more of your brand color. So if you were going with that green that we looked at before, then go with that kind of color here because you want the consistent kind of coloring you want to use. So that's one in that top corner. I might want one down in the opposite corner too, or because my logo is on that cake picture on that side, I might want this to be over here. And if I wanted to flip it so that it's like facing the other way, just click flip horizontal so that it fits a little bit better into that corner. And then if you want to duplicate it so you can have it again in the same size, just hover over your image and click duplicate. And then again, you can just drag that over into the other side. So that's how you would create one from scratch. And like I said, there's so many different elements and stuff you'll have to spend some time looking through it to create your own template. But once you've done, you can reuse this again and again and again. So if I wanted to duplicate this page for another testimonial, I'll just click duplicate page at the top, and then you can just change your image just as we did before. You can just drag it in and it will pop it in place.
So I hope that's all made sense. And if you take one thing away from today, I hope that from this lesson, you can see how important it is to create good quality imagery for your social media, and also that it doesn't have to be all time consuming. I do have one more thing for you today. Getting started is often the hardest part. And so I've created a pack of ready-made social media templates to give you at least 30 days of content done for you. So I want to introduce my social media template pack for cake businesses. Now, these include ready-made templates with visuals and captions that you can use straight away or make simple edits to further customize for your own cake business. Have you ever just wanted all of your content done for you? Enough of your time is taken up with making your cake orders, cleaning up, replying to inquiries and other messages, looking after your household and just life in general, that creating your social media content is often the last thing on your list, right? These social media templates will save you valuable hours when coming up with content ideas and creating your posts. They'll give you enough to create enough content for you to post every day for a whole month and more. And obviously, if you don't post every day, you've got content for even longer. And they'll ensure that you present consistent visuals for your audience to build recognition, trust, and more cake orders. This is my cake business template pack for cake businesses, and they are available now. So as I said, these templates are specifically designed for cake makers, so it's easily relatable and transferable to your business. So it'll be really easy for you to see how to use these for your business. Let me ask you this. Do you dread having to come up with new content for social media? Do you wish that you could have a whole month's worth of posts done for you to save you so much valuable time? And if you answered yes to either of these, this template pack is for you. So what's included? So all of this has been valued at over £100 and includes 30 fully editable social media templates that, like I say, are ready for you to use straight away, or you can make simple edits, just as we've done in the training today, to further customize for your brand. You'll have 25 static grid posts, 4 carousel posts, 2 Reels templates, 3 stories, and these all have captions too. And as I say, this has been valued at over £100, but I am not about that. These normally sell for £29, but as an extra thank you for joining my training today, I've got an extra 15% off for you when you use code CANVA15 at checkout. I'd say that's a huge thank you from me. I really want to thank you for joining this training, and this discount is for you as my gratitude for you joining me today. As I say, you can use Canva 15% works out about £24 when you use that discount code for the template pack. And here is the link for you as well. I've used a shortened link, so that is tinyurl.com/template-pack. I'll also pop this in the comments for you to click on as well. These are really easily accessible and editable on all devices, just as we've done in today's training. You'll edit them in Canva and you can use them on the free version. You do not have to have the paid version of Canva. They are usable and you can use them on your desktop or on your mobile device too. And each template, so all of the static grid posts, include a caption for you to use, making it even quicker and easier for you to create your social media content. You can just copy and paste from the notes on each template and fill in the gaps where needed. How does it work? Downloading and using the templates is as easy as can be. You can do this on both mobile device and desktop. You'll have instant access to the content. So as soon as you've checked out, you'll have a link straight away to download the templates. You'll get a PDF which has the link to all the templates so you can keep coming back to them. And once you've opened them, they will be there in your Canva account. So you don't need to go back to the PDF every time. They will already automatically be in your account once you have opened them up initially. There's also a video tutorial showing you how to edit them, just like we've done here today. So you'll always have that, and it's yours to keep and edit as much as you like. So if you want to create and share attention-grabbing social media posts that will attract more customers that will order with you, increase your engagement on your social media posts, including likes, comments, shares, and saves, and make your brand recognizable and more memorable to become the go-to cake maker in your area that people just simply must order with, these template packs are for you. And here's that discount code for you. Again, if you missed it earlier, it is Canva15. So that's CANVA 15. And if you go to tinyurl.com/template-pack, you can get those there. It's really important to me to be able to help other cake makers in their businesses. So thank you for taking part in this training and letting me talk to you about the template packs. Any questions, please do pop them in the comments section or reply to the email that will be coming out to you with the follow-up. I will be pleased to help you.